Why are you paying an extra $500 for a balcony cabin? Most of the best rooms on the ship are given away at the last minute to people who didn't pay for them. Cruise lines are constantly playing a game of cabin Tetris to fill the ship, and in this game, there are always openings. Do you want to learn how to find those openings and how to never pay full price for the best room again? Then listen up. My name is Kevin. And for the last 10 years, I've worked both at the guest services desk and behind the scenes in the reservation systems of these massive floating cities. If there's one thing I've seen, it's this. Cabin pricing on a cruise ship is less of a science and more of an art. Or more accurately, it's a gamble. And in this gamble, the house, the cruise line, always plays to win. But every game, every system has its loopholes. We call it cabin Tetris. The ship is a grid made of thousands of cabins of different shapes and sizes. The reservations department's goal is to leave no empty spaces on that grid. Sometimes a suite cabin remains empty for a 14-day voyage. That's thousands of dollars lost for the company. At the same time, a cheaper inside cabin category might be completely full or even oversold. What does the system do? It moves the last person who booked that inside cabin up to the next category, an ocean view room. It moves someone from an ocean view to a balcony. And to fill that last-minute empty suite, it places someone from the highest tier balcony room. It's a chain reaction of upgrades moving upwards. Most passengers think this chain is pure luck. What a lucky guy, he got a suite, they say. Number. It's not luck. It's that passenger, knowingly or unknowingly, making the right move to become the first link in that upgrade chain. Today, I'm going to teach you the 5 tactics to become that first link to make the system automatically move you up. These aren't about begging for an upgrade. These are about making the right decisions at the time of booking, so the system is forced to reward you. Tactic 1. Winning the Guarantee Cabin Gamble GTY. When you're booking, you'll see that tempting option, Guarantee Inside Cabin or Guarantee Balcony Cabin GTY. This option is maybe $100 to $200 cheaper than the standard rate. But what does it mean? You're saying, give me an inside cabin. I don't care about the number or location. You can put me anywhere on the ship. Most rookie passengers think this is just a discount to get the worst leftover room, and they are often right. If you book a guarantee inside, you will probably find yourself in the noisiest cabin on the lowest deck, right above the engine room or at the very front where you'll be woken up by the anchor. So, how do you turn this gamble in your favor? How do you use the Guarantee Cabin GTY tactic as a springboard to jump to a higher category? The answer is to play in the right category at the right time. Here is tactic number 1. Never, ever book the lowest possible category, the Guarantee Inside GTY. Yes, it offers a chance to be bumped to an ocean view, but the risk of getting the absolute worst inside cabin is much, much higher. Instead, you play the Guarantee Ocean View GTY, or Guarantee Balcony GTY. Why? Because the biggest game of cabin Tetris happens between the ocean view and balcony categories. Cruise lines make the most money from balcony cabins and try to sell them at the highest price until the last minute. But as the ship fills up, they are forced to start that Tetris chain. If you book a Guarantee Balcony GTY, there are 2 scenarios. Worst case, you get the least desirable room in that category. Maybe a balcony with an obstructed view from a lifeboat, but you still have a balcony. Best case, which happens more often than you think, the cruise line will upgrade your booking to a more expensive balcony category, like an extended balcony or mini suite, so they can place someone else who paid full price in your spot. The key to this tactic is this. By agreeing to take the lowest room in a given category, you open the door for the system to move you to the highest room in that category or the next category up for free. Don't gamble on the lowest tier. Gamble in the middle categories. Because the biggest movement, the biggest cabin Tetris, always happens in the middle. Tactic 2. The category fill-up strategy. This is my personal favorite. It requires a bit more research but has one of the highest success rates. This is about forcing the system to upgrade you. Cruise lines overbook categories, just like airlines. They know there will be a certain number of cancellations, especially the cheapest categories, like Inside and Ocean View, are almost always sold to 105 to 110% capacity. Here is tactic number 2. When you're booking, check the ship's availability and book a cabin category that is almost sold out, but not quite. How do you do this? Go to the booking website. Select an Ocean View cabin. When the system opens the screen for you to select your cabin number, assuming you didn't book GTY, look at how many rooms are left. If that specific category, e.g., Midship Ocean View, only has 4 or 5 rooms left, that is your golden ticket. Why? Because when you book one of those, the category will now show as sold out. However, the cruise line will continue to sell that category as a guaranteed GTY. This means at least 5 to 10 more people will book into that category after you. So what happens on embarkation day? There physically are not enough rooms in that category. The crew must put those oversold passengers somewhere. Who do they move? First, they try to place the GTY bookings. But if there's still no room, the system must upgrade someone. Who does it upgrade? You. The person who paid the most in that category by selecting a specific cabin number, who has a high loyalty score, we'll get to that, and who is the most logical candidate to move up to the next category, balcony. By booking one of the last, most expensive rooms in the Ocean View category, you have locked yourself in as the number 1 candidate for the upgrade chain. The company has to move you to a balcony to solve their own oversold problem. This isn't a favor. It's a mandatory move they must make to fix their own inventory issue. Tactic 3. Hunting the shoulder season. What's the easiest way to get an upgrade? For there to be empty rooms? Seems simple, right? But people get this wrong all the time. The ship was half empty. Why didn't I get an upgrade? They ask. Because when a ship is too empty, the company doesn't want to give upgrades. Why? Because they would rather sell that empty balcony cabin at a last-minute discount than give it to you for free. Your chances of an upgrade on a half-empty sailing can be even lower than on a full one. So, what is the sweet spot for an upgrade? We call it the shoulder season. Here is tactic number 3. Plan your trip during these shoulder seasons when the ship is neither full nor empty. What is a shoulder season? It's the period just before or just after the peak season, like Christmas, Easter, July, August. For example, the second half of September or early November for the Caribbean, or early May or late October for the Mediterranean. What happens during these times? The ship is not 100% full, but it's about 90 to 95% full. This is the perfect scenario for the cruise line. The pressure to sell cheap, last-minute cabins is gone. The ship is mostly full, and now they're just trying to sell the last few expensive cabins, like suites. At the same time, this creates the perfect environment for the cabin Tetris game. The ship is 95% full, which means the lower categories, Inside and Ocean View, are likely oversold. But there are still a few empty rooms in the upper categories, balcony and suites. The system must run the upgrade chain to clear out the oversold lower categories and also to make the upper categories appear full. Because a full-looking ship is more prestigious. When you book during a shoulder season using Tactic 1 GTY or Tactic 2 Category Fillup, your chances of an upgrade increase astronomically because you have both sent the right signal to the system and the system itself is in the perfect condition to process that signal. Don't wait for an empty ship. Hunt for the loophole on a nearly full one. Tactic 4. The Unwritten Rules of Loyalty Programs. Most passengers think cruise loyalty programs, like Royal Caribbean's Crown and Anchor or Carnival's VIFP, just get you a free drink or an internet discount. Wrong. Their real power is putting your name at the top of the list when that cabin Tetris game begins. But even here, there's a secret most people don't know. The system doesn't just look for the member with the highest points, diamond, platinum, etc. Here is tactic number 4. Use the loyalty program's unwritten criteria in your favor, your recent travel, and your onboard spending. On the guest services screen, there's an algorithm that determines a passenger's rank on the upgrade list. This algorithm looks at loyalty tier. Yes, a diamond member is prioritized over a gold member. That's clear. Onboard spend, most important. Are you a valuable passenger? Did you spend money at the spa on your last cruise? Did you eat at specialty restaurants? Did you play in the casino? If you are flagged as a spender, the system loves you. Because upgrading you to a balcony means you'll probably order more room service on that balcony, feel more special, and spend even more. It's an investment for the company. Recency. A platinum member who took 10 cruises 5 years ago but hasn't sailed since is a cold customer. But a gold member who has taken 2 cruises in the last 12 months is a hot customer. The system tries to reward hot customers to ensure they come back again soon. So how do you use this tactic? If you're loyal to one cruise line, stick with them. Consolidate your points. And when you are on board, use your cruise card for your purchases. Let the system see that you are a profitable passenger. If 2 guarantee balcony passengers with the same loyalty tier are up for one upgrade, the system will always choose the one who spent $500 on their last cruise over the one who spent $0. Loyalty isn't just about collecting points. It's about building a profitable customer profile. Tactic 5. The right way and time to just ask. At the beginning of the video, I said just asking doesn't work. That's 90% true. Running to the guest services desk as soon as you board and saying, "Hi, we're on our honeymoon, any chance of a free upgrade?" will only get you a polite smile and a, "Sorry, the ship is completely full." We hear this 100 times a day, and it means nothing to us. However, there is a very specific moment and a very specific way to ask that actually works. Here is tactic number 5. Don't ask for a free upgrade. Ask for a paid upgrade opportunity. And do this on embarkation day, either at the check-in counter at the terminal or at the guest services desk after the initial rush is over. Why? Embarkation day is the day the inventory is locked. The cabin Tetris game is over. But there are always last-minute no-shows, or people who cancel at the very last second due to a medical issue. This means that just as the ship is about to sail, a few empty premium cabins suddenly appear in the system. These cabins can no longer be sold. The ship is about to leave. Their only fate is to sail empty. The company hates this. This is when you, after the initial chaotic rush has died down, usually 1 to 2 hours before sailing, calmly walk up to the guest services desk. And you say this magic phrase, "Hi, Kevin, I know you're extremely busy. I just have a quick question. My reservation is in, state your room number. I was just wondering if, due to any last-minute no-shows, there might be an opportunity for a discounted paid upgrade to a balcony or a suite." Let's see the power of this sentence. You didn't use the word free. This instantly separated you from the 100 other people who begged. You said discounted paid, showing you're willing to pay, that you're looking for a deal, not a handout. You said last-minute no-shows, which implies you know how the system works, that you have insider knowledge. At that moment, the agent looks at you differently. This passenger knows what's up, they think. They'll look at the system. And if by chance there is an empty suite, they might offer you that $2,000 room for the entire voyage for just $300 to $400. And sometimes, if you're really lucky and they just want to mark the room as occupied, they might even say, "Let me see. Yes, I do see one available. Let's make it a gesture. No charge." Why? Because you didn't ask for a handout. You presented an opportunity to solve their problem of an empty room. As you can see, getting a cruise upgrade isn't a game of chance. It's a game of strategy. It's the art of understanding the cruise line's cabin Tetris and making your own moves accordingly. Never go for the cheapest category. Target the middle categories that are almost full. Travel in the shoulder season. Spend money on board and show your loyalty. And finally, at the right time, ask the right question. You don't have to pay an extra $500 for that balcony. Save that money for a wonderful dinner at a specialty restaurant or an amazing shore excursion. Let the cruise line give you that balcony as a reward for playing the game by its rules. My name is Kevin. I know the game board on this ship, and now you know the rules. Use these tactics on your next booking. And when you're enjoying that suite you got for the price of an inside cabin, sip a coffee for me, travel smart.